This is the #1 method that YouTubers have been using for years now to make tons of money every single month. And in this video, I'm gonna break down the 3 steps that you need to use this method for yourself. As most of us may know by now, a new YouTube channel on average takes usually a few months to even a few years of consistently uploading content in order to reach that required 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours in order to become technically monetized here on YouTube. Well, what if I told you that I was able to actually make money off my very first video I posted to a brand new YouTube channel, and was able to continue to make money from that one video for multiple months to come, well before I hit my 1,000 subscribers or ever got monetized on the channel. And I'm not the only one who's found success using this method. Like for example, this video here, or this video, or this one, or this one. You get the point. All of these creators are using the same method to gain their income, and I want to share that income method with you today. So how exactly does this method work? Think about whenever you have a problem that you want solved, or you have a question that you need answered. Oftentimes, you go to YouTube and start searching for this answer to the problem or question that you have in mind. As you start to search and find content answering these questions, you begin to engage with this type of content, and YouTube will begin to serve you more and more of this type of content to hopefully solve your problem or answer the question that you're searching for. 95% of the time, whenever we find a video with a legitimate solution for us, we generally become an instant fan of this creator and begin to trust their opinions. These creators are often recommending products or different services that they've used to solve their problems and providing links to those products down in the description of their videos. Now, they're not doing this because they're money-hungry people or scam artists. They're doing this because these are actually genuinely helpful solutions to their problems, and they personally have found success by using them. So they're just recommending them to you in hopes that you too would find the same success. Now, if you did find this piece of content to be super helpful and you trust their recommendations, there's a good chance that you're gonna wanna use the products or solutions that they are recommending in their videos, so you may go down and click the links in the description to purchase those products as well. And this is what makes that creator money. This, my friends, is what is known as content marketing. And it's one of the best methods that YouTubers have been using to create an income for themselves on their channels. Now, you might be saying, yeah, no shit, Josh. Everybody knows about content marketing and selling products on YouTube. But that's clearly only for bigger creators or people who have big audiences, right? Well, honestly, no. This method can be used by big or small channels regardless of how many followers you have. And you certainly don't need to have 1,000 subscribers or be monetized in order to start utilizing this method right away on your channels. As long as you follow the steps that I'm about to lay out in this video, you should be able to start utilizing this method and gain income from your channel as soon as possible. Let's move right into step #1, which is gonna be finding a problem to solve. So in order to use this method, we need to know 2 things. The first thing is who we're making this content for, aka your niche. And the second is what problems that niche has. Remember that your niche is just another word for your audience, or the group of people that you make your content for. So you may think that you're in the cooking niche, but really your niche is people who care about cooking or who are interested in cooking. And those people have problems that they want solved, specifically within the topic of cooking. So what we're looking for in this first step is to find other content that creators are making for our niche that are solving their problems already. This way we can figure out what problems they have and the best ways that people are already solving them. Now I'm gonna show you exactly how I would go about doing this research with a specific example. For this example, I'm gonna say I'm in the productivity niche. But more specifically, we're gonna say that this channel is focused on content creators who care about productivity. So that's our who, or the audience that we're trying to figure out these problems for. Now let's figure out what type of problems this audience is experiencing. Now, if you happen to be within your own niche, meaning you're interested in the topics that you're talking about on your channel as well, then oftentimes these problems could be things that you have experienced in your past. So you don't have to go searching very far. You can just reflect back on things that you've struggled with in the past, or things that you've accomplished to get you where you're at in your current field. One problem that I personally have had with my content creation is staying on task and staying productive when it comes to managing my projects. So this is a huge problem that I had. So let's start with this and start to do a little bit of searching to see what other type of content is out there that's addressing this particular problem. So when it comes to doing this research, I'll generally start on YouTube and just search in the search bar for the questions or the problems that I have in mind. So in this case, I might search for things like how to stay focused and finish more projects, best ways to manage my projects, or how to end procrastination. Now, one way to narrow in our searches even more and get a bit more accurate results is to go up here to the filters tab and actually search by view count so we can see videos with the most amount of views. And let's also go back to filter. Let's filter by this year only so we can see videos that have been made recently. Now, what I'm looking for when I'm doing this search is for any videos that really catch my eye with a catchy thumbnail, a catchy title, or that just have a particularly good amount of views that seem to be solving the problem that I'm searching for. So you can see I'm finding a lot of really good videos here for project management or how to manage my time or how to stay productive. So this is showing me that there's a lot of different angles I could take for solving this one particular problem. And so another way that I can figure out which angle is going to be best is by using a tool called TubeBuddy. Another one out there is called vidIQ. But what these tools help you do is to actually see our keyword score. So you can see here I've searched for best way to manage my projects. And if I click on TubeBuddy to show my keyword score, I can actually see how well this particular search term is ranking. So you can see here the search volume is right around in the middle, which means it's got an average amount of search views, but the competition is actually up in the green and says that it's excellent, which tells me that there's not a lot of videos on this particular search term, but there's a good enough amount of people who are searching for it that it's saying overall it's rating this an 88 out of 100 on the scale, which is telling me this is potentially a good angle I could take when making this type of content. We can compare that to how to end procrastination. Let's see what this one ranks. So as you can see, this particular search term we may have thought would going to be more popular, but as we see here with this particular rating, it's got lower search volume and it's got more competition, which means this video would be a lot harder to rank for and show up high on the list for our video to be recommended over some of these other videos that people have already created. Another even better way that I've found recently for being able to do really solid research is by using another cool tool called 1 of 10. So here on 1 of 10, you'll see a bunch of videos displayed here right on the homepage with a bunch of different niches or topics right along the top here that you can click on to sort these things by. To start out, I'm gonna go ahead and just search for productivity since that's our general niche that we're looking for content for. Now, when I search for productivity, a lot of different videos are going to show up here. But here's the magic of what makes 1 of 10 so cool. If I go up here to filters, you'll see I have way more options of filtering than I did on YouTube. Now, what I generally like to do here is search for videos that are going to be doing particularly well, but on slightly smaller channels. I don't want to see channels that have millions and millions of subscribers because those videos are going to generally do well for those channels regardless, since they have a big following. But let's try to find a couple of outlier videos that have done really well for smaller channels. So over here under subscribers, let's select the maximum amount of subscribers to be right around like, I don't know, maybe 100,000 subscribers. So we're saying anything from 1,000 to 100,000 subscribers, we want to see videos around that. Now let's also look for videos that have at least 250,000 views. So we'll put this right around here at 250,000 views. And we can see videos that were only posted within the last year. Let's go ahead and see what this yields for us. As you can see, there's a lot of different content showing up here, and next to the names of these videos is this little multiplier symbol here. What this multiplier means is how much better this particular video did than the rest of the videos on this particular channel. So like this one, for instance, it says, mind-blowing Zen secrets to overcoming laziness. So this might be a really good angle we could take when it comes to stopping procrastination or being more productive, right? And you can see that this particular channel has 50,000 subs. Normally they get 16,000 views on their videos, but this video got 1.3 million views. So obviously something about this video really stood out to the algorithm and really did well. So let's take note of this. If I want, I can click bookmark and actually add this to a folder of previous content that I've saved for later. So I'll add this to my productivity folder and I can come back to check that out later. Now I'm just gonna continue to scroll through and find other particularly large outliers. I may even find a particular video that's doing super well in an entirely different niche, but there's a certain trend or a certain thing that I'm seeing that's working well for that video that I could potentially take and use within my niche. And now all of a sudden, I'm taking an idea that clearly has worked elsewhere, but using it within my more specific niche to solve my specific problem. This is a really good tactic you can use when using 1 of 10. If you guys want to check out 1 of 10, I'll leave a link down in the description so you can check it out and actually dive in. Now, let's go to this bookmarks tab and you can see some of these other videos that I've saved in my productivity folder. So some of these here have really great multipliers and are proving to do really well within this productivity, time management / stop procrastination type of angle, right? So some of these that are doing really well, for instance, this one right here, I can see there are 2 videos that are copying this exact same format. This 4 1-minute habits to save me 20 plus hours a week. And they have 2 different styles of thumbnails here, but this is the same type of content being made, and clearly it's doing really well for both of these channels. This channel on average has 3.5 thousand views. This video did 847,000 views for it. This channel generally does around 45,000 views, and this video did 1.3 million. So yeah, this is gonna be a good one to take note of whenever I'm planning my content in the next couple steps. So I'm just going to continue to search here until I find a few good ideas and really get inspired by what angle a lot of these creators are taking, and most importantly, figure out what type of products and or services they're recommending in these videos. Are they recommending products? If so, what kind of products are they recommending? Take note of all this stuff in this research phase so that we have a lot of information when we move forward into the next step. By the end of this first step, you want to figure out exactly what problems you're solving for your niche and what type of content you can get inspiration from for how to solve those problems. Once you've figured out the problem that you want to solve and you have some content ideas to go about solving it, we can now move on to the next step, which is going to be selecting what kind of product you want to be offering to these people in your content. When it comes to choosing a product, there are a few different ways that we can go about approaching this method. But of all of the methods, my favorite has to be by far selling digital products, which means products that you've created yourself. This is hands down the fastest way to earn income on YouTube, because as soon as somebody sees your product and they decide to purchase it, you get instantly paid and you receive 100% of those commissions. Now, since digital products are by far the fastest way to make money, that's the method I'm going to be using for this example in this video. So now we just have to choose between the two types of digital products that you can create. The first being some sort of a guide or an ebook. This is going to be teaching a step-by-step process or revealing some sort of tips in order to achieve a desired result. And the second type of product you could provide are templates or presets. Templates and presets are a fast and easy way for your viewers to replicate your results without having to do all that initial setup and creating the product like you did when building the template or preset. This allows people to jump in, start using your product, and get the results that they want much faster, which is incredibly helpful. This is the particular product that I'm going to choose for this example here. I'm going to be choosing to make a Notion template for planning out projects. Since I know that a lot of content creators already use Notion, myself included, and it happens to be a software that I'm particularly good at. Now, this project planner template is actually a template I built a few months back when I was struggling with managing my project and staying productive when it comes to finishing and actually completing my project. So since this solved my problem and helped me stay more productive, I knew that this particular template would also be helpful to other content creators like myself. So now you know what type of product you want to make, whether that be a written guide or some sort of a template or preset. And this should be something that comes fairly easy to you, since you're going to be an expert in your space and the knowledge that you're going to be sharing is going to be something that you already know yourself personally. So once you have this product in mind, we're going to need 3 particular things to package this product or get it ready to be sold. Those 3 things are the actual project file that you need to deliver to your customer whenever they want to use your product. So for my Notion template, this is going to be a PDF file that is going to include a link to be able to access my Notion template and download it and use it in their own Notion. The second thing we need is the actual name of this product and some sort of images of the product to be able to promote it online. So for displaying my product, I got a couple of screenshots of the template and a couple of screenshots of different features from the template to be able to include online when I'm sharing this product with other people. The name I chose for the product is simply the Ultimate Project Planner Notion Template. Simple as that. And the third thing you want to include when packaging your digital products is some sort of a how to install/use PDF or a video. You can put all 3 of those elements into a nice folder and set this aside for later for whenever we're actually ready to deliver this product. Now, speaking of delivery, there are a couple of different ways that we can go about doing this. You could simply do this manually by just uploading that folder to a Google Drive and copying the link to that Google Drive and sharing that link anytime someone wants to purchase your product. And to receive payment, you could simply use Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal, something simple like that, and do things very manually where somebody sends you a payment, you send them a link to your Google Drive, they're able to download and access their product. Simple as that. But a much cleaner way to go about doing this is to actually set up some sort of a digital product store to host your products on. This way your customers can go to your website and actually check out and buy your product directly from your site and download the product after they've completed their purchase. This means there's no manual work from your end. You simply just put your product on the website, link to your product in your videos, and whenever somebody wants to buy it, they click that link and they have access to buy it and download it right away. Some popular store options are going to be Gumroad, which is basically a digital product marketplace where you can upload your products and create your own little store and be able to sell products very easily that way. But an even more effective way, which I choose to personally take, is by setting up your own branded store with Shopify or something along those lines. By creating a Shopify store, I can own my brand and completely customize this website exactly how I want to create an aesthetic and pleasing website that makes my customer trust me and understand that I have a better quality product than potentially some of these other creators out there. Now, I've actually made a whole entire video showing how I set up my Shopify stores from scratch when it comes to selling digital products. So if you want to check that out, I'll leave a link right up here or down in the description to check out that full video. So once we have your product all ready to rock and packaged like a pro, now you're ready to move into the final step, which is going to be making your banger video. So the number one goal when it comes to making this piece of content here is going to be solving your viewer's problem from step 1 using the product that you've created in step 2. The idea here though is to give so much value in your video that you actually solve the viewer's problem without actually using your product at all. But by using your product or by downloading your product in addition to watching the video, the viewer can get even more results or quicker or easier results than having just watched the video without your product. That's a huge and important step when it comes to all of this. You want to make sure that you're not being sleazy or scummy when it comes to trying to offer your products, but instead offering a very, very valuable resource on top of what's already incredibly valuable in your video content. Now, when it comes to the type of content that you can make, there's generally 2 different types of content that work best for selling digital products. These are going to be either step type videos or list type videos. Let me explain. So step videos are going to be anything like step-by-step tutorials. So things like how to mix vocals like a pro, 3 simple steps. This video you're watching right now, for instance, is a step video because there's 3 steps included to get this process done. Now, when it comes to selling digital products, this is generally the best type of content to make. Tutorials guide your viewer through a process step by step and ideally use your product to get them to their end result faster and easier. Another angle you can take here is by making list videos. This would be things like 15 mistakes most beginner sourdough bakers make. In these type of videos, you can reference these products as a way to apply these steps that you're listing. Both of these type of videos are going to do well at solving your viewers' problems and recommending the type of products that you have to offer. Now, before we even start planning this video even further, the first thing that we have to figure out is something I like to call your TTHC, or your title, thumbnail, hook, and call to action. Now, you probably know about the importance of titles and thumbnails by now, but the hook and call to action are equally as important to figure out before we ever even make this video. Your title and thumbnail are meant to set a promise in order to achieve some sort of a result or answer some sort of a problem for your viewer. And the hook's job is to ensure that your viewer knows that this particular video is going to in fact deliver on that promise. And the call to action is just simply you mentioning the link to your product that you're recommending in this particular video. So you need to know your title, your thumbnail, your hook, and your call to action before we move on to planning the rest of our video, because this will ensure that we have a solid idea that has the potential to go viral and do really, really well for us. So here's some title ideas that I came up with for my particular example here with creating this Notion template for content creators in the productivity space. This first title is directly copying that video that we found on 1 of 10, which was doing incredibly well for the productivity creators. So the title I came up with was 4 1-minute habits that help me stop procrastination instantly, right? So I'm trying to mimic the same type of format that they're using and giving someone a result that they absolutely want, which is to stop procrastination instantly with 4 simple 1-minute habits. Another title idea would be content creators. How to stay focused and get more finished. This is directly calling out who this video is for and letting them know exactly what it's going to help them to do. Another idea would maybe be 10 time management tips to boost your content production. Each of these different ideas can use my project planner template to help achieve these particular problems. So by having a few different angles to go down now, I now can really clearly see exactly which type of video I want to make and which video I think I can help my viewers with most. So now let me break down the structure of a viral video. The very first thing your video needs to do is hit the viewer with your hook, which should be in the first 15 seconds. If possible, you want to try to explain the entire video in 1 sentence, right in the beginning of your hook. So let the viewer know exactly what they're going to get by watching this video. This first sentence is generally going to be the title of your video. So this is what's confirming that you are in fact going to deliver that promise that the title made. The next thing you're going to want to do is hit them with some context or give them a little more information as to why this particular video is best for them. This is where we're relating to the viewer and letting them know what's at stake if they don't watch this video and getting them curious to stick around to the very end. The next section in our video is the main meat of the video. So here's where you're actually going to get to solving the main problem that your video is looking to solve and give as much value as you possibly can with your list or step of instructions. Now you can include your product as little or as much as you want throughout this process, but you want to at least obviously mention it one time. And ideally, you want to be able to use your product throughout the whole video to show that this is the easiest and fastest way to get the solution to their problem. This gives them even more reason to want to go and purchase this product. But again, they don't need to purchase the product to get value from this video. Keep that in mind. Now, the last section of a viral video is the outro. And the outro is generally going to be where you want to have your final call to action or what you want these viewers to do after they're done watching this video. I generally use my outros as a way to segue into another piece of content that I would like them to watch next, or just remind them about the product that I was using in this particular video. You never really want the viewer to see the outro coming so that they don't click off the video too soon. So you want to avoid things like,
okay, so that's gonna wrap things up, or so that's pretty much gonna do it.
Because anytime you use those type of things, it lets the viewers know that, hey, the video's over and there's no more value to be gotten. Your goal is to just keep the value flowing until the end of the video and then naturally guide your viewers to what you want them to do next, like I just did in this video.